a lot of things go down at 2 a.m. It really depends where you are. So I'm traveling a lot. So in LA, 2 a.m., the after parties. When you're in Ibiza, you go to the club at 2 a.m. So it really depends where you are in the world. I got into the SWAT industry when I was really young. I started when I was 9 years old playing for a musical, Tarzan. It's like Broadway in Germany. After that, I got into acting and YouTube, and I got casted for a boy band when I was 15 in America. And then after that, I found my passion for producing and got into DJing with 16, 17. It just kind of grew into where I am now. I remember my first gigs as a DJ. I remember the biggest one that I had. It was actually really crazy. When I started, I got put on stage in front of 15,000 people. And back then, that was 2017. I couldn't even DJ back then. So I just started to learn how to produce and to DJ. I practiced my set for 3 months. So I was doing live transitions, but I knew exactly what song I was playing. And I was so nervous, but it was the most insane thing I've ever experienced in my entire life, which was crazy. At my shows, you can always expect the craziest things. I mean, you never know. We used to have a friend of mine. His name's Little Johnny. He used to come on my shoulders when we go out in LA, and we used to go crazy at parties. I love him. Such a cool guy. And then you never know, we always turn up. Sometimes we rent limos from my house to different spots and to the club. Sometimes we do after parties. It always is spontaneous, which is really cool. You never know till you go, so be prepared. I use the drum machine live. So I have 3 CDJs and a mixer, and then I have another drum machine where I play live beats on when I DJ, which is really cool. I do that at bigger shows, which is really interesting. Then we have like live cameras. They shoot on the drum machine while I play live, which makes it really more interesting than just mixing record to record. So that's really one thing that I think is cool about my shows. It really depends, where you go in the United States and where you go in Europe. I think in Vegas and Miami, people party. They're there to party. In LA, it's kind of like everyone is cool on their phones, a little bit too cool to dance, more talking. And then in Europe, everyone comes really for the music as well. But it's, of course, like back in the day, it was always like no phones. Now it's more phones. And a lot of people complain about phones, I think, especially in Ibiza now. But I think it's a cool thing that people use phones because that way you get to see what really goes down in what country and where you want to go. But music-wise, the difference, I feel like right now, which I'm going to be doing next year as well, which is really cool. I'm going to be doing a lot of hip-hop into house. I'm working on some really, really cool upcoming records with a big artist for the American market. But in Europe, that doesn't work. So the music really changes on countries. So you always have to adapt. I don't really have an ick, to be honest, that much. But I feel like if you're, I don't mind when people do drugs or alcohol around me. But if you're too drugged out or if you're too drunk or you can't handle yourself, I feel like that's kind of an ick. Because I'm like, okay, then just don't do it. But if you can handle yourself, do it. I don't mind. But if you can't handle it, then I think it's kind of like a turn off. Let's Go was actually a gimmick song. So I went to David Guetta's party on Friday at Ibiza, the #1 club in the world. And I love David. I love his passion for music. I've always been inspired by him. And I had the beat. And then we wrote the record as a tribute to the #1 club in the world, Ibiza. And I was like, what's the best night? Best night is David Guetta's night. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then we just put it out because I was playing in Ibiza at Ushuaia, across from High. And I was like, okay, we need a record out that fits to Ibiza. What songs do I have? So we said, okay, let's release Let's Go. We put it on TikTok. And then people just started using the song, how they were going to Ibiza for 24 hours. And it went absolutely viral. I think when it went viral, there was a girl that had like 2 million likes, like 15 million views. And then just grew. Now we're like to 10,000 videos almost a day, which is crazy. And it keeps growing. And then, David Guetta saw the sound. He was like, yo, you made a crazy tribute song to me. I really appreciate it. And then he invited me on stage to play it with him, which is a crazy story. One of the best nights of my life. So I grew up on a little island in Germany called Sylt. It's right up in the north. It kind of looks like the Hamptons, to get an idea of it. And I was always connected to the water. I grew up surfing on the island. So when I came to LA, I fell in love with Malibu. I feel like it kind of recharges my energy, because when I'm there, you don't really think about all the madness that's going on. So I love going to the beach and surfing. Favorite spot is my studio. I'm always in my studio. I have a nice house with a really nice studio in, so I always invite all my friends to come to my house, and we listen to music, make music. If it's after the club or before the club, we always hang in my studio, make music. But besides that, yeah, I love the beach. But there's so much things to do in LA, so whatever we want to do, we can go snowboarding, we can go surfing, we can go dirt biking. LA is just a great place. I usually end up staying up super late when I perform because I keep looking at all the videos, and I'm like a maniac, a psycho when it comes to that. I look at every story. I'm like, oh, this was cool. Did you see this? And I end up posting all the videos myself and make edits for some reason, because, I don't know, it's still all new to me. So I get really excited about it. So I end up staying up to like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. or whenever. Depends how late we get home, and edit my videos and comment and repost, and so I really like doing that.